Hello, good morning, everyone. Sound check 1, 2, Trade Pros. My Trade Pro familia. This is George coming live and direct for you on this beautiful Thursday, February the 5th. Just wanted to get a sound check really quick, and we will get started for today's broadcast and update. The chat should be working. We can hear you. All right, thank you. Why is the chat not working? Prashant, my brother from another mother. All right, good morning, guys. Let's get into it today. I'm feeling good, and knock on wood, the tech also should. See what I did there? Okay, I want to stop the screen share and turn on the camera for you, and we're gonna rock and roll. Kind of getting into the flow of this thing. You see the back of my head? Oh my God, there's the back of my head. It's so amazing. I love the back of my head. Morning, Trade Pros. I'm gonna stop being goofy. I have some nice energy this morning, Sometimes when things are going rough, you have to elevate your energy to turn them around. Yesterday wasn't a great trading day for me personally, and the room and both of our rooms, all of our traders and two communities. My son also got sick, and he's such a good boy. It's always scary when he gets sick. He had two febrile seizures when he was young. Scary stuff parents could go through. I mean, there's scary here, obviously, but it's a scary event. Um, why am I wearing a green Leafs jersey? I'm a trader. I like pain. And this is probably the worst sports team in the world to be a fan of. I can't help it. All right, let's get started. I hope you guys are having a great morning. This morning, let me just turn around really quick. I'm sorry that you have to look at the back of my head again. I just want to check the YouTube feed. Oh my gosh, it's so grainy and disgusting. That's okay. It'll probably render. Um, and I think Zoom isn't sending a high quality data feed because I'm streaming now through Zoom, and Zoom I think compresses video unless you tell it not to preserve bandwidth and stability. So I'm gonna look into that for tomorrow. But if the video looks grainy, the camera is great. It's just the settings. All right. So another thing to work on. We'll get it right. That's a whole new process for me. So I'm just still fine tuning stuff. Let's get into it. All right. ES is unchanged. Well, actually, ES is down. Nasdaq's down. Everything's down across the board from overnight. We have extended lower. We had some key reactions on earnings that are pretty disgusting. Look at this. Google's down 2.4% and they beat on earnings per share. They came out at $2.82 versus 264. Nah, market said screw it. We're going to sell Google. ARM down 6.7% on a beat. Qualcomm down 10.5% on a beat, earnings beat. So markets are just selling winners on AI spending concerns. That's just it. And if you know anything in the market, you know that tech leads the way up and it leads the way down. And NASDAQ is, for this reason, the weaker market in this latest wave of selling. And just tech is having positive earnings but getting sold off into. All right. Again, the concerns there are capex, and it's dragging a lot of the performance down. Like these stocks, yes, they're down, but they've if you look at a chart of any one of these big Mag 7 companies, they're up a lot. They're up the most. They're driving the gains in all of the key benchmarks for indices. So yes, they're selling off, but they've rallied a lot in the last couple of years. So it's still alarming though to be down 10% and having an earnings beat. I bet you the executives of these companies like, what the heck are we supposed to do? Spend less on AI, then we're gonna start missing on revenue and expectations, then we're gonna get punished even more. Odd time for sure. This morning we had key jobless claims data, and we also have, I'll tell you some more stuff about some reports that are being delayed, but the jobless claims came in at 231,000 versus expectation of 212. So slightly more people filed for unemployment claims. All right. I'm not going to say this report is unimportant because if you were the 20,000 extra people that were laid off, it's very important to you, right? It's not a great report, but it's in line with expectations more or less, slightly higher. The prior was 200,000, and so it's much higher than the prior result. Okay, that's jobless claims. It came out. JOLTS today is being released as per the updated Bureau of Labor and Statistics schedule. So because of the partial government shutdown, there's a little bit of a delay. So this data isn't stale, but it is misplaced It's coming out today at 10 in the morning, and that's your biggest news event for the session. Non-farm payrolls, get this, we're supposed to be tomorrow. Partial government shutdown. They didn't have the data and resources to compile the report, but they will be able to release it. That's the good news. Sometimes they don't. Last government shutdown, a lot of NFPs just there's a big hole in the data because they just couldn't do it. And then when they reopened, they didn't have the resources they needed to do it because a lot of it is real-time statistics. So we're getting non-farm payrolls. Get this, next Wednesday, randomly, February 11th. All right. They couldn't even do it on a Friday because I guess, hey, it's delayed. Might as well do it as quickly as possible. So as quickly as possible to the BLS was February 11th, 8:30 in the morning, non-farm payrolls. Write down your calendar because it might catch you by surprise. I don't think I've ever seen it released on a Wednesday. All right. CPI then is getting pushed to Friday. So we are still having a really big report on Friday. It's the inflation report Friday, February 13th, also at 8:30. Keep that in your mind. I have to let you know. Commodities, big sell-off across the board. Spot gold, I couldn't hold 5,000 down to 47.90. Silver carnage, 16% drop intraday from 90 down to 73.55. Silver is kind of moving on the same sort of trajectory as meme stocks. I know the bidding in silver is partially metal strength based on fundamentals, but majority of it is a couple of people grouping up on it trying to run the stops. And silver is an interesting market because you can cause a lot of damage if you get silver to continuously bid because there's less supply of the physical commodity versus the paper contracts attached to it. So interesting stuff. Copper is below 13,000. Crypto is down 6% to 71.5 thousand. Ethereum's down 2.1 to minus 8% to 2. Down 2.1 thousand minus 8%. The drivers are this for today's session. Then we're going to turn around and do the trading plan. There's a disconnect between the tech sector and the whole market. Tech sector stocks are beating estimates, but getting hammered on concerns of AI spending, of CapEx, capital expenditures for these companies. Something to watch for the remainder of the earnings season for tech companies. But the big ones have shown these tendencies, and it's rather odd. It reads like a broken market, but it's also just a quantified result of what we've been going through the past couple of months. We loved AI. Everyone was on board. 100 billion here, 100 billion there. All these companies are high-fiving each other and circulating this money around like it's new money. And everyone was okay with it. And everything was doing fantastic. Now AI can't catch a freaking break. And none of these tech companies can too. Oh, how times change, right? Metals under severe pressure. We'll watch for that. And US Iran talks could lead to some more uncertainty and volatility. So we're going to talk about not that, but some Trump information too, but that's chart related. So let's turn around. Let's get on the chart. Let's get groovy. Let's get excited. And let's make the plan for the day. Okay, so now I will share a screen with you because I'm in a sharing mood. There will be no camera for this. I don't know. I don't want to show the back of my head or my face. It's a little more difficult to live stream from Zoom directly. I'm not going to lie to you. I really liked some of the conveniences that Streamlabs had, but I get to cancel one subscription, save some money. So, hey, that's the benefit. All right. Futures trading risk disclaimer. I'm going to spend the rest of this update reading this out to you out loud. Trading futures, options on futures, and other leverage. No, I'm just kidding. Imagine though, that would be probably the worst start to the day possible. All right, let's get into our note. I'm actually going to show it to you. I don't hide much. I'm not a hiding kind of guy. So this is what I wrote, and I am actually going to expand this chart a little bit because you don't really need the footprint order flow yet. I already used it. It was important. So, all right. You guys know how we do this, right? You're not new. We start out with telling a story because I think the most important thing of any market, any context is the story of how we got here. And then the trading plan makes itself. Okay, so let's just go through the last 12 hours or so. All right. Yesterday was a tough session. I wrote that in the notes. For me and lots of traders in the group, lots of traders I know outside of TRADEPRO Academy, lots of traders in TRADEPRO Academy, Victorio Fatti, the group at the auction market theory room. It's not like a different approach had a different result. They were all down. Down and not that great results. I wouldn't say all, but the room numbers in the poll were significantly worse than average. It was a tough day. And yesterday I told the team, I was a little bummed out because I had tech issues and then the trading kind of sucked, but I didn't do too many trades, just one, but I took a crazy stop. Actually did three, but two stops and one winner. And the one stop was a big one because I canceled some of my stop limits and got fried basically. Not to the tune of a lot because I caught it, but it wasn't a good day. Look, tech issues, market was moving weird. Anywho, but I told the team, look, it wasn't the great start to a new trading room for sure, but in a way, it's the perfect start because this is the reality. This is how markets are. They want to laugh at you, and boy, did they get a chance to laugh at us yesterday. Fine, markets. Maybe it'll be our turn today. So we opened yesterday 949 quarter. The open was here. We saw some bid early on. We didn't trust this bid. We were always looking to short. Why? Because our flip zone was all the way up at 69.80. And it seemed nuts at the time, but I really needed that level to be crossed above in order to trust any long positions. So the whole day that ended up being a very short day, I was looking for the short. All right. It's kind of like earnings. I did the right thing and still just got punished. So up we go. All right. And then we got a drop early on from there. We were looking for the short, big drop. All right. Then, as we were qualifying the short into a retest, it said, nah, I'm going to run a bit higher. Started to look a little bit more bullish. MBO flipped, and then it flipped again. And suddenly it started hitting it. And this wave here looked like it was going to get very bearish. This is the one I was excited about. I'm like, we're going to extend down into '04, the 88s, and who knows how much below that. And then Donald Trump goes and post on Truth Social. And he says, I confirmed the meeting with China. President Xi and I had a great phone call. We look forward to doing blah, blah, blah. Like very positive trade talk with China. China's a big target for tariffs and trade. All right. So markets rally after that. Obviously, there's optimism. So if you were short into this wave, you got wiped out and you were doing the right thing. You were in it in the right move. You got wiped out. One Truth Social post. That's fine. That's the business. That's 2026. All right. So then what do we do here at 69.20? In the room, I told the team, make sure you always mark down these levels. Whenever there's a reversal on big news, mark it down, put a line, make it thick, make it a different color, make it stand out because it's going to be key for the market to reprice back to there. What do? We reprice right back to it after the Trump news, have a little consolidation, dump, dump, dump. All right. And we go down to set the prior day low at 68.62 half. That is the PDL for the day. All right. Then we rally 60 points. All right. After, 90-point drop, we rally 60 points. Why not? Then we drop another few and we settle the session at '08 half. That's the prior day cash close, the PDCC. And the day overall looked like 2.14 million contracts on 98 and a quarter range. Not bad in terms of movement, but tough to trade. All right. So then what happens overnight? Let's move the story now to overnight. And then we got our trading plan. And then we're off. We go to the races into the open. Buyers pick up the bid off Globex on the reopen, send the price higher to mark the overnight high at 69.35 quarter, this little like brownie poopy line. 69.35 quarter. Then the sell side hammers this thing. It tries to recover. It can't. We get down the prior day cash close. We broke below the prior day cash close and a huge sell off. Where do we sell it off? Well, we broke the prior day low. Anytime an overnight session breaks the prior day low, it tells you that on less volatility and volume, we're able to get below the low of the prior day. It starts to look bearish again for this session. So that's our first indication that we're going to have a bearish type of setup. All right. And now we're kind of hanging around near the lows on more than an 80-point range now because the 80-point range was the prior overnight low. It's dropped by 5 points, around 85-point overnight range. On what do we got here? 322,000 contracts of volume. That's significant. Okay, so it's a pretty strong overnight session. So here then is the trading plan, guys. And then I'm going to get to some comments on YouTube. Then we're going to get into the trading room. We're going to end the broadcast on YouTube, get in the trading room, talk about MBO, and then set up the first trade. But here's the trading plan. Buyers are trying to hold on. They're trying to hold on desperately. Look, one wave here, second wave here. They're doing these V bottoms, all right, third one. But each time they're resuscitating this sell-off and resuscitating their drive to get higher, it gets less and less profitable for them, less and less successful. See how the waves are compressed, and if I kind of get out of this chart a little bit, or I compress the chart itself, you could see what I mean. All right, big drive up, big reversal, nice bullish day. Oh, how great that was. Smaller bullish recovery, and every time we keep extending and we keep getting new lows, including right now. So we are trending down. So the goal here is to sell rallies. All right, the flip zone for today, and I'm actually going to change it in real time. I don't like it here. Tell you why. I like the flip zone better at least, look, realistically, like the 45, but let's go 69.25 for now. So our flip zone is moving down from the 80 to the 25. All right, for the day, that means I want to be short below there. And you could see these pink lines. These are all recorded sell imbalances from yesterday's session and overnight. Those will be levels to sell into today and to look for more sell imbalance confirmation. All right, but tech is selling into strong earnings. It's a continuous theme. Flip zone is now 69.25. So we're looking to sell rallies. Where's the good levels? 76. It kind of already happened just pre-market, but it's still a level. 88. 68.88 and then 69.05 to the upside. And the last one would be like the 18 to 20. All right. Sellers are going to have to make a big effort to blow out the bottom finally. All right. We got to go and we just got to go hard. 68.14 3/4 is a really key level. That's the higher low trend structure from January 21st. Got to hold that for the bulls. If we don't, it could get ugly. So once we get down to that 14 today, if we do get down there, just consider it kind of a cleanup of where we left off and probably end the day to continue looking for shorts because it's going to get volatile and choppy. Really, the move here is the opportunity is from here to down to the 15 if we can get it, which is a pretty decent move. All right, and then it's going to get a little more dicey. Here's some ES stats for you. High volume level is 69.65. That's your gamma flip zone. It's way up there, prior above the prior day high. But gamma at the moment is totally minus on a net basis, 120 million. Which when you have minus gamma, it means dealers are chasing moves. So if the market is selling, dealers have to sell more of the market in order to hedge their delta. Meaning that if ES is going down, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. They have to sell more. All right. If gamma's positive, it's not today, then dealers are going to fade the moves. If the market's going up, they got to sell it. If the market's going down, they got to buy it. But it's negative, meaning they have to follow. And it's negative until you flip at the 69.65, which is way overhead. All right, unless conditions change. We'll see. Um, Lastly, and not but leastly, I don't know if I said that right. Mag 7, everything's down in pre-market. Nvidia, Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, and Tesla are down pre-market. And I thought this comment was clever enough to write it down. Apple is thinking different. Eh? And it's actually on a bid pre-morning hours. So that's your morning market update. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me get to the comments real quick here. Where can I find your Zoom meeting? Don't see it on my email. Oh, Marco, are you part of the vault? Like, did you officially sign up or get Donna to sign you up? You look crystal clear, George. Oh, thank you, Prashant. That's really nice. How do I look? I'm just kidding. No, but thank you for the readback. Maybe just on my side, it's not filtering properly, or it's doing it just because I'm streaming it to keep bandwidth low. Um, hey George, I couldn't go to the webinar. Is there a way we can have access to the recording? Yeah, Atum, we actually emailed it out. If you don't mind emailing support at tradeproacademy.com or Donna at tradeproacademy.com, she'll get you a copy of the video. We still have it. We sent it out yesterday to the email list. If you didn't get it, check your inbox and check spam. It would really hurt if we're in the spam inbox. But uh, all right. So lastly but not leastly, guys, and thank you for reminding me. We have the vault is on 15% discount right now for the first payment and for the rest of your life, as long as you maintain it, the subscription, which brings it to $84 first month, 169 every month thereafter. This is the chance to kind of get on board. It expires on Sunday. So you have Friday, Saturday, and kind of the better half of the day, Sunday, and then it ends. That link I can't actually post in the chat. Erica, are you here watching this? If you're here, can you post the coupon link into the chat in YouTube before I end it? Um, we in this together. That's crazy you didn't get it. Um, are you on the email list? All right. Well, would you mind emailing Donna at tradeproacademy.com and getting what you guys need, and she'll have it handled. I'm sorry, guys. The tech rollout on this wasn't really the most fantastic. Definitely a lot of opportunity for us to improve for the next one with the team. Mikey said Donna got it sorted out. Perfect. Okay, great. Love you guys. You have until Sunday. I'll see you again tomorrow morning on Friday, and things are starting to move a little smoother on my end. Now we go to trading team to plan the day a little deeper. YouTube, thank you so much. Have yourself a great rest of your day, and everyone as well. Love you, and I appreciate you. Um, have a great and successful day.